Nice.
But it's not. So how long are we waiting for?
Hey guys.
Yeah,
my
come
head
on,
popped,
man.
I'm back.
Do we hit him with the all rise? Is that what we're doing?
All right.
Hey guys.
We could. You guys all want. Let's do it.
Hey, who's this goofball sneaking up past the chairs?
That's my head popped, I'm back, I have nowhere to sit.
Oh, Weasel News.
Yeah,
okay.
I got nowhere to sit.
God damn, somebody took this mess.
Like
That seems mighty unfortunate, sir.
That's alright, I'll get a better angle from up here.
Snooze, you lose.
Hey,
Hate to
Gates,
say
are
it.
you coming in anytime this century or what?
Yeah, man, we've been waiting for
Hey,
him.
how's everyone's day going?
I'm pretty sure he had an accidental flight.
Yeah, I saw him on the train.
You mean the plane?
Plane.
Same thing.
What a clown.
Hey, who is that running back there?
Don't worry about that. You did. Don't worry about that.
Hey,
No,
Weasel
you,
News,
you
I'm not
didn't
in
see-
that
You didn't
shot.
see anything.
Why aren't I in the shot?
Who?
All right. While this is going on, I don't know how he's gonna do this, but I'm gonna assume that any questions, just try and keep them to the end, all right, until he's done talking, and then let's try and get them answered in a calm and cordial manner.
What the
Arrest them.
All right. See, this is what I was talking about with calm and cordial. All right. Being a troll ain't gonna help
Damn
shit.
it.
Also, no farting.
Yeah. No farting. It's a small
no
room.
Farting.
Any of you farts, I'm kicking you out.
Taser.
That's the thing he will. He's done to me.
He
will. Well, not
Wow.
specifically him. He will tell me to kick you out. Yeah.
Fuck
Back
off.
middle left already read.
Wait, Ellie, you're telling me you didn't fart already? You just smell like
Are
that
we,
all
are we
the
getting
time?
a,
Hey,
oh,
Verona,
there, the
what's
man
your
of the
pocket?
hour.
What?
There it is. Finally.
Jay.
smells like roses.
Okay.
Yo, officer,
Man,
can you
man,
imagine? I can't see.
I cannot sit, Chief. Can you flex your
What are you
F9
gonna
muscle
get-
for me?
Yeah.
You guys is in the room, by
Excuse
the way.
me?
You guys-
It's the pressure. He faints under pressure.
You know, I can't help it. God bless America. Looking this beautiful constantly, it's
Everybody wanted to do an all
So-
rise, but they didn't see you walk in.
Bullshit.
it's just rice now.
I'm not doing it for him.
I'm doing this one for Hammy.
All right, take it away.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for the salute. I appreciate it. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. I'm sure everyone has a lot of questions as to what was going on earlier at the VU.
Yup.
So, so first and foremost, to explain, we conducted an operation down at the VU to where we executed a number of search warrants on a number of addresses and also put in place a cease and desist order. Just as an update for everyone, we seized a number of goods collectively from the apartments nearby, a number of high-powered rifles and a high number of narcotics from the properties around the VU area. Oh, 1 second. Now, I'm sure everyone's probably got a lot of questions, so if you want to just put your hands up, and we'll do our best to answer them. So, you, sir, down here to the left.
Why did it take so long for you guys to do the raid?
Why did it take so long? As I said earlier, there was, and I put emphasis on the mass amount of things that we had to seize, and we only had a limited amount of officers actually seizing the items. A lot of them were on a perimeter control, as you probably saw. So that's why it took us a little bit longer, just due to the sheer amount of things that we had to take. And you, sir, in the black suit.
I'm sure a lot of people are maybe not worried, but are just wondering if you guys are in the works of or thinking about executing another raid anywhere else in the city. Is it okay if you display any information for that?
Well, I think that'd be inappropriate for me to comment on any future or ongoing operations. What I can say to people is, if you have illegal items in your house, we'll get to it, and there will be raids. As for any future ones, unfortunately, I can't make a comment.
All right, thank you.
You sir at the back, in the red.
Yo, how come I have yet to see a warrant?
You have to make sure you're shouting because I'm struggling to hear you.
Hold on. You hear me now?
Yeah, there you go.
All right. How come I have yet to see a warrant?
As I said, we're more than happy to be able to work with you in providing that. After this briefing, I think that's something we should do in private.
Don't you have to provide a warrant before you conduct a
Well,
a
the
search?
question actually is it your house?
No, I have power of attorney.
Who are you the attorney for, sir?
The owner of the strip club, get it done.
Okay, well then the press conference is not really the
Fuck
appropriate
12.
forum for it. As the attorney and as the power of the attorney, you can come and
Yes,
address
you
the police department afterwards, but the owner can ask for it on site. The attorney
Say
cannot.
that
But I
again.
think I already spoke with you at the Villain
I
Unicorn
mean,
about that.
you told me I would get it after y'all were done, and I said get to get it.
And you most definitely can, but not at the press conference.
All right, I hope that clears that up. If you want to,
It doesn't, but thanks.
no problem. You sir, here on my right with the blue helmet on.
Yeah, I can't hear him. Can he speak up?
No.
Yo, speak up, bro.
Yeah, speak up.
He's not
I think he's talking.
He might be nervous.
It's okay to use your outdoor voice.
Is that
I know
helmet
Hamilton's
deflecting the
hard,
voice?
but-
Oh, my bad. My voice box. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I have two questions if you wouldn't mind answering them. The number one question is, me and my brother own an apartment, and we checked after, and 30 of our ammo clips were missing, and we were wondering why that is, as we had no firearms, just ammo clips. As far as I am understanding, it's not illegal to own 30 ammo clips, so we're just wondering why that was taken.
Well, I think the best thing, as some to the gentleman at the back, is we can. I mean, I'm not exactly sure to which apartment you're talking about. So if you grab us at the end and just explain a few more details to us, I'm sure that one of us could clear that up for you.
Okay.
But that's right now. I'm sure
my
she'll into
apologies.
specifics.
I know the story behind that
Yeah.
one. So
And if you wouldn't mind, the other question is about the warrant. I'm curious to see if we do own an apartment. We were told we can get the warrant, but it took a little while until we actually had gotten that, and I'm wondering why that is. Because
well, that was actually a miscommunication on your part, because when I asked you for your email to send it to, you just told me cryptic. So it actually was sent to somebody with the email cryptic, which turned out not to be you.
Yeah, I understand that, but I
And
think
you were sent the warrant now, right? You have the warrant. You've seen it.
Yeah, currently, but my thing is when we were detained right at our doorstep, I feel that's when we should have got it.
You followed in a police. You followed a police raid into an area. You straight up followed. I mean, from the police station. After you were also blocking the front of the police station before the raid started, you followed all the SWAT trucks to your apartment. So and then you drove past the police barricade to go to your apartment, and then started screaming that it's your house and everything like that. So, but as I said, you got a copy of the warrant once you were able to provide us with the appropriate information to send it to you. But I mean, if you had given us the appropriate information in the first place, you would have had it within seconds.
Okay, that's understandable.
I
That's
don't
really all I had
like
to
you.
say. Screw you,
No,
Shaggy.
you sir, over there.
Oh, my bad.
I have a question. So there's been some rumors going around. One of my friends, Matt, he told me that somebody was trying to steal some evidence. Is that true? You know, Matt.
So can you repeat that last
sorry.
part?
Matt.
Hey, Chief, we're gonna go ahead and
He
move on. This guy's
he
not-
said
that's not
he said that
Alright,
he said
so
that
go
somebody was
take-
trying to
take-
steal evidence.
Take a seat,
What's
man.
that? What's
Just
that about?
Just take a
Like,
seat.
somebody was
You
trying
can't
to
get
steal
through a
evidence from the-
sentence. You can't get through a sentence without laughing, man.
But
down.
Matt told
All right.
me.
Don't worry about it. He's a
You wanna, if you just want to take a seat.
But Matt
Does
told me.
does anybody else have any questions that
You
they'd
know
like to put forward? Just go ahead and raise
Take
your
a
hands.
seat, man. Come on.
My balls.
Okay, let's
Wow.
go. Get out of here.
Can we escort him out, please? Thank you.
Yep.
All right, so you
the
in the
door's
black suit.
So oh wait, which one?
You can go, Samantha.
The gray hair. area.
So I often see a lot of police officers at the VU. I don't know if they're there for like special reasons or whatever, or just there, just to talk to people. Do you think there will be less officers there now, just hanging around the VU because there's a lot of you like kind of purged all the bad stuff and all the
I
illegal
hate 12.
weapons from the VU?
Chief, do you mind if I answer this one?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. I don't see the law enforcement presence of the VU changing anytime soon. As a matter of fact, with the injunction coming down, the cease and desist, I'll be happy to speak on the cease and desist after this. It has to do with outdoor gatherings around the VU and granting police special powers.
I have
So
a gun.
it's I don't see that number decreasing anytime soon.
Okay, so you guys think you still need to keep a little supervision around the VU?
Based on the amount of narcotics and heavy weaponry and everything like that that we seized from the apartments surrounding the VU today, I would most definitely say that that's definitely a hot spot.
All right, thank you, officer.
I searched the first one here.
All right, you sir, to my right.
Whoever just came in, can you take your mask off, please? Thank you very much.
Mind just taking a seat as well on the second row.
Can I have a gun?
There's a seat over here.
All right,
I
yeah,
have a
you saw with the blue helmet.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Another question I had was if as many people could recall, a few months back there was a riot. And I believe it was everyone was too loud, so you ended up walking away without a statement. But my question is, why should the people trust you after the incident with the innocent gardener and countless other stories that we've heard from the people in the city? Why should we trust you after multiple people are telling us these incidents that have happened? Why should we trust you?
Well, I think the biggest thing to look at from
Hamilton for chief. Come here.
is that man still in the building?
Yeah.
Sorry
Like
to
I said, he's a crack to do some green.
to continue with your question. I think in any organization, I think you have people who commit such actions, and I agree. It paints a bad image for the rest of the workforce. I think the thing to realize is here that the vast majority of officers employed by the SEDPS are here, for a good reason. Are here to help, to protect people, and most importantly, to serve them. And that's always been our main mission as a service. And obviously, we'll continue working with communities to ensure. Can someone find that man and get him off the premises? And as I said, to continue working with communities, to also build up on those relationships.
They run that way. They run that way.
Hey.
Yo, I'm being arrested. What the fuck? What did I do?
Yeah. Sorry, I lost where I was. I hope that's answered your question. As I said, we'll always be working further and further to build the relationships with our communities. And, I think, everyone should understand that the vast majority of people here are here to protect and serve. And those people who paint a bad image for us are, usually very swiftly dealt with. Does that answer your question? Sir?
I think it does.
Oh,
Let's move
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate your response.
All right. So you down here to the left. You've been waiting on.
How's it going, sir? Samuel Harris here with Weasel News. These raids, this is like the first time I've seen something like this happen. What's the likelihood that we see more of these raids happen around the city?
As I said in a previous statement, if people have illegal items in their houses or in their businesses, they can expect us to be knocking at their doors and seizing those items. No one's exempt from the law, and
yeah, gotcha.
it's a matter of time until we start cracking down further on that. But I would say that you probably can expect to see further raids in the future. Where and when they will be carried out, which I can't comment on. But does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you, sir.
All right. So you over there in the red shirt.
The red shirt, he's talking to you.
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I just want to say thank you for listening to the people and getting rid of Irwin. I think he was the assistant chief, as he was using his power for no good. So I appreciate you listening to people for that. But my other question is going to be, when are y'all going to start enforcing traffic laws in this city? Because I see people going 100, 150 through Legion, and I see cops just ignore them and don't even like pay attention to them. Is it like Tokyo, where if you go a certain speed, you don't get chased?
No, I agree with you that definitely the traffic violations that are currently going on is something that needs to change. I have had a few ideas that we're probably going to be looking at implementing here soon. Get some checkpoints going, some roadside tests, and just general traffic enforcement. As you said, it's happening too frequently, and that is something that I'm quite passionate about on stepping up on. So yeah, that is something that you can expect to see in the future.
Like, I understand that the bank robberies and the store robberies are important and stuff because there's hostages, but when people go 150 down the road, I mean, there could be civilians walking across the street and getting murdered with no chance, and the cops are just turning a blind eye to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as I said, I agree in the fact that the traffic enforcement needs to be stepped up, and that is something that I'm looking to work towards. In what's the word? Vamping up on.
Yeah.
So that is definitely something you can expect to see soon.
Oh, I forgot.
Perfect. Thank you.
No
Whose
worries.
fucking movie is that? That's
Miss, you at the back.
Oh, hello.
So here at Weasel News, we are trying.
He was talking. He was talking to Ali. He was talking to Ali.
You said, I thought you said Man in the Black.
No, he said
my bad, boys. My bad.
Missing
Are you up
my
to?
turn.
Missing the black man in black. Yeah.
I got a question because I like how you guys said that there's a big gatherings at the VU. We have tried to move the gatherings down to the Legion Square, but the one time that we tried to do that, there was a cop that kept messing with us. And I asked the police officer if we were parked in the right, and after that whole incident of him towing our cars and whatnot. And the other police officer said that it was perfectly fine the way we were,
guys up.
just there, standing. We weren't doing anything.
Shut
we
your
were
bitch
just having a
ass up.
conversation.
Who said that?
So, someone said that I need to get I don't know, something to to park 2 cars in one block without traffic. You know what I mean? I don't know. But they were messing with us at that point. So we tried to move it from the VU to Legion Square, but it didn't seem to work. So I mean, that's my question. What can we do when it comes to the parking if we do move things from the VU?
Yo, what's that
noise?
Oh shit! What's going outside, man?
So I sorry, it was pretty difficult to hear. You're asking about the parking at the VU.
No. Okay. So the question is, we have tried to move things from the VU to Legion Square. Yeah. But there was a cop that harassed us for parking two vehicles in one parking spot, even though they were definitely out of the way. It was
Right.
perfectly
Okay.
fine.
Really. What I would say with that is also there's a certain amount of parking spaces at Legion Square. But I think the one thing that people often fail to realize is behind the bank, there is about 60, maybe 50 car parking spaces that can be utilized. Obviously, I think there's maybe 4 at Legion Square, and there's a little bit of roadway, that you can park on. So I think it's just a matter of being careful where you park, and also utilizing the space that is available
What's the 20?
around the area.
I mean,
You know how people are. People are lazy.
My personal suggestion, I mean, if you guys are looking for somewhere to hang out with, right? I mean, there's all kinds of places where there's big parking areas and place for you to be. I get the attention towards Legion Square being that everyone likes to go there, and it's the same with the attention that goes to the Vanilla Unicorn. But I mean, if you're just looking for a general place to hang out, then I mean, there's a myriad of parking garages all over the state, and well, even parking lots. So I mean, if you want to hang out at Legion Square, like the chief said, there is actually there's that parking lot just behind the bank there, right? So it's not that far.
Yes, definitely.
There's a multi-level parking garage.
Yeah, there's also the multi-level right around the corner there.
Yep. Ammunition.
All right, I hope that answers your question. So you at the front.
Also, you got to come to the county. Just saying.
Yeah, send her up there.
All right, we'll let you one more viewing. Let me.
Hey, I
Yeah.
don't want to interrupt real
So,
quick, but make sure everybody.
word got out from a few cops,
Hey,
buddies
can
of
you step
mine,
back so I can search?
that there's a whole new investigation system with guns and bullet casings. I was just wondering if
Step back. Come on.
that whole investigation system is going to stay within the
Everyone's there.
law,
Okay, thank
law enforcement, or if there's any changes that are going to be made to it.
I mean, I don't
No.
think that's something I can really comment on, to be honest. Obviously, I know it's been implemented
which
for
which one of you comes in,
law
come over here,
enforcement.
whoever wants
Whether that's going to be expanded, I have no idea.
All right.
We
Unfortunately,
got a new forensics lab. It's cool.
it
It's
is.
fancy tech.
All right.
I think that's definitely a cool
Which
thing
one
y'all
of you?
added.
Only let one of you in.
All right, so you black suit, grey hair.
No, you.
So here at Weasel News, we have a follow in progress about gangs and gang violence. Do you know
Wait,
that
lady.
from the VU, if any of the guns or any of the properties that you seized were from gangs or just like gang activity?
All right, come right here. Take off your mask for me.
I mean, we're still conducting investigations into that, so unfortunately, I'm unable to provide a comment on that at this
Okay,
time.
so furthermore, what would you say to the public about gang violence and how they can stay safe from gangs?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, I think often when people see violence, they have instinct, resort to violence themselves, right? I think that often stirs up a situation. The one thing I can say, if you're a victim of violence or are aware of any wrongdoings that are going on, contact your law enforcement agency. So down here in the city, the LSPD, up in the county, the BCSO or Highway Patrol. If we don't know about things, we can't act on them, and that's we rely on the public to provide us with information to tackle a lot of the issues. And obviously, if that information is not coming in, that makes our job significantly harder. So to stay safe, keep us in the loop, and if you're a victim of violence, then obviously let us know, and we can look into that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, officer. Thank you.
No worries. So you at the back left.
Talking to me?
No, this guy. I'll come to you afterwards.
So you guys started off this press conference saying that you guys seized a lot of drugs and guns and other objects and paraphernalia from the premises surrounding and including the VU. What would you guys say to the multiple witnesses that watched most of the stuff that you guys took and some of the stuff being released back onto the streets out of the unguarded police vehicles?
I think saying it was unguarded is a little bit of an overstatement. I think it's pretty miraculous how some people manage to walk up to a truck surrounded by police and just walk away with some stuff that maybe they shouldn't have to. But that might be a discussion for a different forum rather than this one.
Gotcha.
All right. So you in the red shirt again?
Yeah. So I got two things again. First one's gonna be, I would like to just say that McFly is probably the best cop on the force. Very
McFly's a
fair
bitch.
with
Hell yeah.
everything, and also Hamilton's also a very good cop as well. I've noticed, their interactions being a lot less robo-y than most of y'all that are standing up there. Other than that, though, what are we gonna do about all the people that are holding guns on their back that obviously they shouldn't be having on their back?
Well, actually, I think I'm gonna take this one. That's right, Chief.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
Sheriff White, Blaine County Sheriff's Office.
Oh, okay.
All right. I think I can speak for the chief when I say that today's raid on the Vanilla Unicorn was a large part. A lot of the evidence found against us was because of people just openly carrying their firearms like that. Obviously, yeah, that is an issue. I mean, that's nearly akin to brandishing a firearm when you're walking around with an illegal or illicit firearm on your backside. You're not licensed to do so. You're not supposed to do so. It's intimidating. It strikes fear into the general public that's just around, right? So I can very safely say, as one of the individuals who saw the evidence submitted on these search warrants, was a lot of that evidence actually came from people brandishing like that. So this raid today was in large part due to people carrying around their guns like that and just not caring, as well as the fact, I mean, the sheer amount of firearms that were seized today, I think can make a big impact, as well as the new injunction and cease and desist placed upon the Vanilla Unicorn today, obviously, is also probably going to aid the police in trying to combat that issue of the open and lacking and carrying around large weapons inside the city limits with no cause or no real reason.
I'm sorry, sir. What do you mean cease and desist on the VU? I'm not aware.
All right. So along with, as I said earlier, along with the search warrants that were executed today for the VU and the surrounding buildings around the VU, there was also cease and desist, a court order, an injunction placed upon the Vanilla Unicorn by the state, prohibiting them from outdoor gatherings of more than 5 people. Meaning they can still obviously have numbers of people inside the Vanilla Unicorn, but if they are gathering outside the Vanilla Unicorn in numbers of 5 or more, then they can be stopped and searched by the law enforcement.
Okay, so what about like if they throw in a party or something, or
It's
does
gotta
everyone
be
have to be inside?
It's got to be inside the premises. If they're outside and there's more than 5 people outside, and it is because of the Vanilla Unicorn, or even if they're just hanging around outside, because of the injunction on the property, they can be stopped and searched. So it's up to the Vanilla Unicorn to let their patrons know this. Obviously, we're gonna advertise it, make sure that people know, because we don't want innocent to get caught in this. But at the same time, unfortunately, it's the best tool we have for combating situations of people just openly brandishing firearms. Because as I'm sure as you brought up yourself, it was a very common issue, a very prevalent issue of people just walking around with massive shotguns and rifles on their back and whatnot.
Well, I heard there was some like heavy construction going on in the VU here real soon, so how that was going to affect that.
I have absolutely no idea, sir. As long as it's the Vanilla Unicorn has the chance to appeal the injunction, as well as the fact they can apply for permits to operate outside. It's more or less to combat the complacency that's going on right now out there.
All right. So I'm gonna have this one last thing to say, and then y'all can go. I'm sorry, but so the Vanilla Unicorn, the person who owns that business, wasn't that property purchased? So it's private property in that aspect, is it not?
It's what would be called public access private property, because it's a business, so it's still subject to law. They're not their own country. They're not a sovereign nation. They are subject to the law, and therefore the law has deemed that the property at the moment, the current state that it's in, the current way that things have been going, is it's a public safety risk. Therefore, an injunction has been brought down on it to try and control the danger to the public based on the people outside the property.
All right, that'll be all. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. At the front.
2 things. One, since we're giving appreciation to cops, I'd like to say Officer Daisy is also very good at his job. And then moving on to my question is, I think you might have answered this in the whole deal, but if you don't mind repeating it, you say that if you own any legal things or narcotics or whatever within your apartment or business or anything, most likely it'll be seized. What evidence do you get? Like, where do you get your evidence from to show that someone might have suspicious things in their belongings?
So that we've got cops out on patrol, all hours. The intel that we gather. I think to enter specifics would probably be inappropriate, but obviously then there's a threshold that needs to be met by the court for those search warrants to be authorized. But as I said, it's just if you've ever known anyone in law enforcement or have been law enforcement,
Get the fuck off my lap.
Your day-to-day patrols,
Yo, what are you saying,
you're
homie?
consistently gathering intel. When you arrest somebody, we have a lot of tools that aid us in intel gathering.
That makes sense. And then
Yeah, I read that.
never mind.
No. So you front right, blue helmet.
Okay. My bad. Yeah, my question is, this is like specifically situation that has happened to me multiple times. And my brother, earlier today, my brother was actually
You need to
he
go.
he had done some damage to some
Alright, let me
police
unlock this door.
vehicles, and
Go ahead. You have a good day, sir.
he was
You too.
unarmed, and he had a
Let me know if
gas
that
can
door's
in
locked.
his
Shouldn't be.
he had a single gas can in his hand. So he
Y'all,
was
I'm here.
fleeing the police on foot with a gas can in his hand, but he was unarmed, and he ended up being shot. And this is just my issue. In the past, there's been situations when me, unarmed, was running on foot from the police. I have been shot and heavily
Alright, you have a good
hurt.
day.
And I'm wondering why catching us is more important than our lives. If we're unarmed and we're posing no danger to the law enforcement at that moment, I'm wondering why is you catching us more important than our
My bad, I didn't mean to get in
lives.
front of you there.
Okay,
Hang on, sorry, I'm gonna cut you off before you answer. Simple solution: don't run.
Yeah, I understand that, but I really think that our lives are more important than catching us. I mean, eventually you're gonna catch us, and I think using a taser would be more appropriate than just shooting us out of the blue,
I think to be able
unarmed.
to try and dive into specific cases would be inappropriate, especially a public press briefing. You know, I encourage you that if you felt that you were treated wrongfully or anything like that, I would encourage you to make a complaint. Obviously, each case would be reviewed independently and on a case by case basis. I can't sit here and try and give you an answer because the situation is so vague.
Whoa, what was that?
My bad.
As I think to go into specifics, that'd be a conversation for a different time. If
I
you want to
understand
grab
that.
me after the meeting or something.
Yeah, I appreciate your response.
No worries. So about left.
Thank you. You mentioned the cease and assist limits to, what did you say, no more than 5 outside of the VU?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, so without looking at it, I'm just gonna ask a broad question. Are you aware that the wiring system at the VU is faulty and plays non-stop, extremely loud music, which is why
I think I got a
people
sticker up his
congregate
ass.
outside? And would that be incorporated into the cease and assist?
Chef, you want to grab that one? I didn't quite hear it.
I couldn't hear it at all.
Are you able to speak up a little bit and repeat the question?
Hey man, you're gonna have to speak up. Go closer, man. Don't be afraid.
Are you aware
There we go.
that the wire at the VU is faulty and plays extremely loud, non-stop music that some people's ears can't hear, which is why most people congregate outside of the VU? And is that incorporated and thought about in the cease and assist?
Yeah, so actually that was, and to be quite frank, I get what you're saying. With there's music that plays, but no one's telling you guys you have to hang out at the VU. So that is entirely an optional choice people make. They decide they want to hang out at the VU. Okay, well, then if you want to hang out at the VU, then you have to hang out at the VU. If you don't want to hang out at the VU because the music's too loud, then don't go to the VU. There's a few other bars in town that I'm sure would love to see the business. And there's parks. There's all kinds of options. No one's forcing people to go in and listen to the music. We're just saying if you're at the VU, you have to be inside the VU, because otherwise, with the amount of criminal activity that has been going on, it's a public safety risk for those who are at the VU as well as anybody else. As I'm sure you guys are aware, being regular patrons to the Vanilla Unicorn, there's sometimes people will run in there to get away from the police, and the sheer amount of people just congregating outside becomes a hazard to them as well as anyone else, because everyone seems to think that if they drive there, their friends or anybody else will help interfere with the police. And what ends up happening most time is innocent individuals either get hit by the person that is fleeing police, or the individual, or unfortunately the police catch them in a crossfire or something like that. And that's obviously casualties and other things that don't quite need to happen, but they happen just because the location it is. So that is something that was taken into consideration, the music, but it's a personal choice. If you want to be at the Vanilla Unicorn, then that is what you're gonna have to put up with, or you can go, as I said, there's numerous other bars around town and numerous other locations that people can congregate.
That's something you can also turn down yourself, by the way, as well.
Can you?
Yeah, that is something
Yeah.
you can turn down yourself. You can turn it off entirely.
You can turn
Can
it.
I
You can
speak on
reduce
you
it.
after
Yeah,
the-
absolutely. I'll sort you out after.
Thank you.
All right, you sir, grey hair, black suit.
All right, this is my last question. But while I was outside and on Twitter, people were asking for a new chief, mostly Hamilton. Will you like entertain that like proposal at all?
There's currently no plans for a command reshuffle at this time.
All right, thank you, officer.
No problem. So front left.
All right, Chief. This is going to be the last question for us at Weasel News. Can I ask for a closing statement from both the Chief of Police and the Sheriff, please?
Don't do
Sure,
crime.
take it away.
Crime is bad.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
No, I mean it's
Phenomenal work, Sheriff.
Thank you very much. It's a pretty straightforward situation, if you ask me. I mean, the Vanilla Unicorn, unfortunately, has gone from an establishment of reputation, of somewhat reputation, to establishment that has got nothing but a bad reputation, and it's gotten so bad to the point. I mean, we did have. You're gonna find out, I'm sure, because it'll come out when people read the search warrant, or what little is not redacted from the search warrant, that most of the information and the evidence gathered against the Vanilla Unicorn was actually performed by undercover operatives, and it was very easily depicted to the undercover operatives just how easy it is to rob a bank, murder someone. It took approximately less than a day for them to obtain heavy rifles, illegal. Some serious narcotics, as well as personally be involved in the commission of some crimes, right? So it became very clear that the Vanilla Unicorn and the unfortunately the patronage that it was receiving was doing nothing but causing its a very bad reputation and causing more crime unto itself. So in closing, when it comes to all this stuff with the Vanilla Unicorn and the situations there, and hopefully we see a reduction. Hopefully the cease and desist will get people to to go around and do some other things, and maybe it'll break up that criminal enterprise. And as well as today, I mean, I'm very happy with how the raid went. There was one single shot fired, and it was an accidental trigger. I believe it was by Hamilton, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe it was Sloaney. Actually.
Sloaney. Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Lieutenant Sloaney accidentally
Little
fired
dust
his
pop?
sidearm. Yeah, a little bit in the excitement, but
Yeah,
other than
no
that,
big
there was
deal.
not a single shot fired. There was very minimal altercations. Everyone that was detained, as I'm sure will probably tell you, they were detained in the back room of the Vanilla Unicorn. They were later on then released. And any mix-ups or anything that went wrong with the search warrant executions, we're more than happy to discuss and try and sort out for you guys. But I mean, we did seize. Without knowing the specific numbers, just off the top of my head, I know for a fact we seized around $1 million in cash, somewhere near around $2 million in firearms, somewhere near around almost another $2 million in narcotics and other various criminal enterprising equipment. So I'd say all in all, that was a very successful operation.
I'd say so. Thank you, boys,
you
for
guys
answering our
handled it really
questions. Yeah, like so we were on the site. It looked like you boys are pretty in control of the situation. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate your cooperation, guys.
Yep. Thank you for your time, officers. Hope you guys keep catching bad guys.
Have a good one.
Thank you, everybody.
Hey, have a good night, gentlemen.
Yeah. Peace out, man.